I used to sleep with older men.
Oh my God.
Let's go.
Hello, everyone, and happy holidays. This is going to be the very last episode of 2024, but I just want to take a moment and thank you guys. As we enter into the new year, we're also going to be entering the 3rd year of the show. So thank you all so much for you guys that have been tuning in every other week for the past 2 years. But I will say, of you guys that keep coming in, I can tell by my little analytics, most of you guys are coming back and watching every single episode and not hitting that subscribe button. I don't need that subscription number to go up. I don't need that validation. It's not about me. But whenever that number goes up, I think it makes the show look better for potential guests because it makes the show seem more impressive or something. So yeah, if you guys are tuning in all the time, just please hit the subscribe button so that we can make the show bigger, I think. Yeah. And if you want to help support the channel in another way, you can also support the channel over on Patreon. As I've said before, everything with the main show will always remain for free on YouTube. But over on Patreon, for people that want to help support the channel financially, I offer like some additional content, including uncensored ad-free episodes, deleted scenes, fan questions, and just other little tidbits here and there. Whether you're new here or you've been here from the beginning, thank you all so much. I appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you guys in 2025. All right, I just want like a nice, congenial, kind interview.
Beautiful.
So don't come over here with your bullshit.
I will not, I promise.
Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to Give It To Me Straight. Unfortunately, Alyssa Edwards couldn't make it today, so in her place we have the one and only Coco MONTRESE.
Wow. Hi, everybody.
Hi, welcome.
First runner up again.
Yeah, always a bridesmaid.
Never a bride.
Welcome. So before we get way too far into anything, I'm so curious why you chose the Prince look today. Because I feel like with any illusion I see you do, normally it's Janet or, you know. But like, well, why Prince today?
I think I'm doing a transformation into my artist formerly known as Coco type thing.
Oh,
so yeah.
So is that Lala, you're quitting drag as well?
No, I'm not quitting drag. I'm not quitting
okay.
drag, but I'm just, a little bit more subdued and laid back, and
You just haven't had your nap today, is what you're trying to
I'm
say.
calming my inner demons,
Oh, okay. Well, let's see if we can't bring them out for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
God.
So, like, with this look, do you do a Prince illusion for your numbers? I don't think I've ever seen.
Actually, to be honest with you, my first performance I wouldn't even call it drag at the time, but my first stage appearance was Prince.
When was that?
Back in 90, it was like shortly before I started doing drag, so it was in 92 as well.
You started doing drag in 92?
1992.
I thought you started sooner than that for some reason.
No, how? I was in college in 92, so that's when I started drag. But I did Prince, and the song was called Soft and Wet.
Soft and wet. Would you say that's an accurate description of you and your character?
I remember, yes, very much so. Oh, I thought I was Prince for real.
It was giving popper.
Yeah, it was a little out of control.
Popper that's a term for like a little peasant person. It's not, there's...
Not the poppers you guys were thinking about. Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to give homage to you. I went to your house once. I noticed you had a couple plants in there, so I was like, oh, you must love
Orange
trees. And so I was like, I'll be the Lorax, speak for the trees, because you love nature so much. I thought it's very appropriate for you.
I'm really digging it. I mean, it's a lot of orange.
You think so? You think it's a little too much orange?
No, I like the orange makeup though too.
I tried to break it up. I put a little pink up in the eye.
You put the pink in the eye.
You're
gonna need a little bit more pink in that eye.
Yeah. And of course, I got the trademark OG Coco MONTRESE contacts. Where did y'all find these back? Who started this?
Okay, so you couldn't legally get the contacts without actually having a prescription back in the day. So they wouldn't even have them out in the store like they do now in the beauty supply stores. You would have to have a secret code, and you would have to ask for them. And then they go in the bag.
You guys are using bootleg contacts?
Oh, yeah. Probably got cataracts now, but...
Yeah. So people watch Drag Race, they know you wearing like the really bright blue contacts, or even like Trixie, also known for like the big bright blues at the beginning. People don't know that's a thing in like pageantry too. Like a lot of the old girls, they love like the bright blue, like fluorescent contacts.
Yes. Anything that popped and draw them to your eyes and draw them to your face. you would do that. So it was a big deal back then.
It's the problems with these queens nowadays. They're just not putting in the effort to do real drag. You know, they're not like us. They're not like out here.
Totally, they're not like us.
They're not putting in the work like us.
No, they're not. No. You put in a lot of work today.
I did.
Yeah, but they're not. They're not putting in the work. And I think they should put in the work.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad someone said it.
Yeah.
But speaking of Alyssa, I know you've kind of talked in a couple interviews before about the feud with Alyssa and what it was actually about, where that stemmed from, but just to kind of rehash it for the audience that's not familiar, what was the original feud about? Like, explain it for people that don't even understand pageantry and what went down.
Okay, so what went down was, the real story of what went down was, we were both in the pageant together. We both knew we were doing the pageant together. Came down to it, we were 6 points apart. She won the pageant. Well, for whatever reasons, because at the time I had no idea what was going on, for whatever reasons, I got a phone call saying tomorrow at 12 noon, it's going to be announced that you're going to be Miss Gay America. And I was like, wait, hold up.
How far after the pageant ended was this phone call?
I think it was around about 4 to 5 weeks out of actually after it happened, after the pageant was over. Yeah. I was just as shocked as everybody else. And from us talking later about it, she was too, at the time. So it was a lot of emotions up in the air. And we were living this in real time with real audiences. And we both hadn't been on Drag Race yet. So we both had our fan bases. And I think what sparked it between me and her was, I was trying to get in touch with her. I wanted to know what really happened, what was going on, but everybody else was having their comments online and saying stuff. So eventually what I said was, I'm just gonna throw my hands up at all this and I'm gonna lay back on the beach and have my drink. So I posted a picture of me laid on the beach with my drink. Someone went to her and said, oh, Coco is letting you have it. She's, so it was, that's where it all really stemmed from.
Okay,
the craziness.
So they were seeing like a Facebook post and they're like, they thought you were starting the beef back in the day.
And then the story started coming in. It's kind of still like today is with this whole with all these other things going on. So then the story was, I told on her, I don't know what I would have told, and they took the crown from her because I wanted the crown, so I told on her that she was doing something. It was a whole mess. It was a big old mess. And her and I, during the pageant, we were like back and forth. We were supporting each other. We were doing, because that's what we do. That's how we roll. And genuinely that night, I was happy for her, and everybody was like, oh, but the pictures read different, this and that. And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? This is crazy. But and somehow it got to World of Wonder, and we ended up on that season together. And honestly, I think both of our goal was just to get some time alone and talk about this. Because honestly, we genuinely love each other and care about each other a lot. Alyssa is like when she won Global, it was like everything to me.
Yeah.
It was everything to me. Because she's a pageant girl. That's what she does.
Yeah.
She loves competition.
Yeah. She may not like keep the crown or anything, but she does compete for the pageants. Like she likes doing the pageants.
Wow.
So.
Wow. Well, but my sister, a win is a win.
A win is a win.
I got that, baby. I got that moment. That's her line, baby, but I got that moment. Alyssa is a great competitor. She's a great competitor. And honestly, she's a great friend. People don't know that about Alyssa. They think she's so wrapped up into herself. I remember when I was like, I ended up in the hospital from exhaustion. I was like, and they were like, your lungs are probably gonna collapse. You are doing way too much. You need to chill out. She stopped what she was doing and flew in to see me.
I told you to stop trying to walk up the stairs.
Well,
Just
I'm like
take the
90
ramp.
years old. I'm like 90 years old. And she did that. She came to see me. And it was just like, wow, And it wasn't for the internet. You never saw it on the internet. It was never something that was discussed, publicly. It was a private thing. So, and she don't like me to tell it, but she's got a really soft heart. She's a sweet. She does the whole grand thing because she's Alyssa Edwards. And but she's really a softie. She's sweet, really, really sweet.
Whenever you took over her responsibilities as the title holder, was there like a little bit of a rift that did develop between you at that time?
Oh yeah. We ended up really not speaking for like 2 years, because of it. And I think the rift mainly was because we both had people in our ear. She's saying this or she's saying that and this and other. So we both were just like, okay, let's that, well, I'll steer clear of you, you steer clear of me type of thing. And I had to go to Dallas. I had to go to Miss Texas America. I had to go to these different pageants all over. And Alyssa at the time, we both were loved and adored, but she had just done Miss USA. She had just won Miss USA. So she had done that reign, and it was amazing, which I was like enamored with her through the whole pageant. I was there when she won. And she just was this big, big deal. So people didn't know how to react now. It's like, okay, so Coco's the title now, which Coco was just doing. I was just doing my job. I was doing the contract that I signed said, if this happened, I had to do it. Trust me, if I could have won my own way, I would have won my own way. A lot of what people don't know is the night that she won, she took me back to her hotel room and we mapped out how I was coming back. She picked who was doing my gown. She picked what my talent was going to be. She picked everything. And we had everything set up for me to come back. And it just never happened that way.
What was worse for you, though, the negativity around the whole situation online through like your Facebook friends in the pageant scene, or the negativity from Drag Race?
I think for me, the pageant scene, because that was where we gained most of our respect from. With the Drag Race scene, no, it's no less, but they're only getting to see part of our life. They're only getting to see certain parts of our lives that they're allowed to see. But with the pageant world, those people in the pageant world, they followed you through every pageant. There are people that knew every single pageant I did. They were there when I was great. They were there when I was horrible. They know you through and through. They don't know you from a small lens. So I think that was worse for me. But above it all, the negativity that stirred and created the silence between me and my friend was the worst. That was worse than even the pageant scene people.
Yeah.
Because it was like, are we ever going to get back to where we were? Because none of this is our fault. None of this is her fault. None of this is my fault. This is just a product of circumstance. So it was like, what do we do?
You said you didn't talk to each other for a couple of years. Was it at Drag Race that you first talked to each other again?
That was the first time we talked to each other again.
The setup.
Yeah, that was the setup. And I think a lot of it, because people go back and say, and I'm like, oh, we're going to talk about it. Because for me at that moment, I wasn't even thinking about, oh, I want to win Drag Race. I was thinking about, oh, you're here, and it's been all these years, and we haven't got a chance to talk about this. We're going to talk about this. And she was like, no, we're not, Miss Coco, we're not talking about this. Because she was in pageant mode. She was like, I'm coming here to win this. I'm coming to win this. And I was like, no, we need to talk.
So with the you and Alyssa situation, obviously it finally got resolved on camera for the world to see at Drag Race. Do you think that without Drag Race, y'all would have ever resolved it? Or do you think it would have just stayed like a constant thing without the show?
Honestly, I don't. I think, and that's one of the things I credit Drag Race for the most, and that I'm very happy that I had the opportunity. Above all of like gaining the fans and everything else, the fact that they were able to bring us together was like, everybody say love. That was the ultimate takeaway from the show for me, because I was going through a lot when we went to film the show. A lot of people thought it was just the Alyssa and Coco thing. And the girls were like, oh, it's the Alyssa and Coco show. But I was going through something like way worse. My husband was home going through chemo, and I didn't even know, I didn't even know. I kind of felt guilty because I was filming a reality show, and he's home going through chemo. It was kind of like, that's, you selfish, that type of thing. But it was a good thing for me that I was there. Everything. Drag Race for me was an extremely positive experience. I gained my friend back. I gained my confidence, my confidence of dealing with heavy, home and family situations and stuff like that. But it took me away from that, and I love the fact that I had the opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about your partner having health scare. You also had your own health scare. Surely in between the seasons of Drag Race you were on, it was like right before All Stars 2, you're talking about your lung collapse.
Yeah.
What happened exactly? Like, what went down?
So from my season, literally, thank God I was, but I was booked literally so much. I wasn't home literally I would probably say 11 months out of the year. for 2 years twice.
Oh, wow.
So I spent the time I spent at home broken up. I was on the road, and I was one of those. I'm a workaholic, so I was working. I was not. I don't take time off. I don't do any of that. I would finish the show, be on a red eye out early in the morning, haven't slept, do another show, haven't slept, and I'm thinking I'm 22 years old again. I'm thinking my body's 22 years old. And they were like, "No, ma'am, you can't do that. You're not young. You're not young. You're almost 40. At that time, I was almost 40. I'll never forget it. Derek came to my hotel room because it was Derek and I doing the show. And he was like, "I'm not trying to be funny, but you're white as a ghost." I was like, "Derek, come on, I'm black. There's no way I'm going to be white as a ghost." He's like, "No, you really look white as a ghost." So we got a nurse to come and give me an IV, like a vitamin IV. Got me through doing my makeup, got to the show, did the first number, came out for the second number when Derek and I were doing Britney and Rihanna S&M. Went to say my first word and went to take a breath, and that was it. And I got down on my knee. I was down on my knees, and then Derek came out, and he was just performing around me. He was like, "Are you going to be okay?" And he was performing around me, but I didn't make the meet and greet. Got home, and they were like, "Good thing you came in. Your lungs are collapsing. At 30%, they say at 33% or something like that, you would be brain dead. You're down to like 42. So it's dropping." Yeah, so that's what happened.
It's just like a testament to how grueling like the touring cycle is, because you don't even be dancing that hard.
It
and
is.
it still got you,
What you mean I don't be dancing that
It's just
hard?
crazy how it does
Wow. I don't dance. I really don't consider myself a dancer. I'm a mover. I used to work for Disney. So I was a performer at
that.
Disney. And
That was back in the day. Were you like Steamboat Willie? Is that your character you played? Because it was like OG Disney, right?
wow. Steamboat Willie. No, I was, okay, so those years were what, 90, 98?
What'd you do at Disney?
I did a lot.
Did you play like characters and stuff, or?
I was friends with Chip and Dale. I was friends with Susie and Perla, which is, the mice from Cinderella. I was Jessie the cowgirl's very first friend.
For people, like, if you're allowed to translate it, when you say you're friends with, that means that you portrayed those characters.
Don't screw up the magic. God.
Yeah.
Maddy.
Well, they're probably confused. I understand, like, why you keep saying you're friends with.
Maddy, you're going to screw up the magic, and then Disney's going to come after me.
Disney ain't watching this. I'm friends with the lower X.
You're friends with Cat in the Hat.
Aside from like all the Disney characters that you're friends with, you're also friends with Janet Jackson, and that you portray her on stage a lot. And you also did her for Snatch Game. Was Janet somebody that you saw and you're just like, I can portray that? Or was it just, did she always have like a special place in your heart? Like, why her?
When Janet came on the scene, I was in high school, and she just, everything about her, I think her beauty, then her message, because at that time she had just started coming out with, I think Rhythm Nation was coming out. I loved her music. I loved her dancing. I loved her look. I used to try to imitate her look all the time. And I think that's why I picked her as the character in my life, not only on stage or entertainment-wise, but I even try to portray her in everyday life, because she's just very laid back and fun.
What does that mean, like everyday life?
Sweet. She's just like a normal person, very sweet and loving. Sometimes I don't come across very sweet and loving, but I really am. I'm really a nice, sweet person, and she's that too. And what I tell people all the time about impersonating somebody, sometimes it's not even about like looking like them in the face. You can do the makeup, you can do that, but it's about their aura, possessing their aura. Because like right now in the orange, you're possessing that aura, of ripeness.
Right.
Ripe. Yeah.
The adjective of ripe is one of the kinder ones you've ever used for me, so thank you for that.
Yeah, you're very ripe. But yeah, so I think that's why I picked Janet, because I love how she carries herself too. And I think that's more important than even having the look. If you can do the mannerisms, if you can present to an audience the things that they love about that person, then it's a good impersonation. So, yeah. The Snatch Game wasn't that great, though.
Well, it was like the first one, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. They didn't really
And
know.
I still
They
was
didn't know
like,
what
who
they
is
were
little
doing.
Edie? And I was like, who is little Edie? And
Yeah,
I
no one
who
really
she
knew
is
what
now.
was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love it. Everybody online, like, I can't believe you didn't know who a little Edie is. I didn't come to find out everybody who was about it didn't even know who little Edie was either.
Yeah, the queens do that every season. Like they just
Right.
see people do a reference online and then they Google it, so they know then. And they're like, oh, how do you not know this person? It's like,
Right. Like, shut up.
It's like 'cause she didn't have Twitter back then.
Shut up already and watch the show.
You know how long it takes her to go through her encyclopedias to learn something?
Oh my God. We used to get the
Forever.
newspaper. Remember we had phone books? Remember the big yellow thick phone books? Were you around for that?
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
We don't have phones. We don't have personal phones in your house. What
You had
if
to crank your car.
cell phone dies, you don't have a landline? I don't understand why people don't have landlines anymore. I think we need to go backward.
You have a landline?
Yeah, we gotta keep a landline.
You paying money for a landline?
Yeah, why not?
I think it's just you. You're one of the only ones out here.
Oh, so you guys depend on an iPhone and Samsung stuff.
You drive a Tesla. Don't be talking to us about technology.
Shh, I gotta get rid of my Tesla. I don't like Elon anymore.
Yeah, well.
But I want the Cybertruck so bad.
You want? Well,
Oh my
why?
God, the ugly, big old ugly thing is
Yeah.
so cute.
It looks like an ice box.
It is cute. I love it. What is with this picture?
This picture I printed out. This has been in this frame. Every time I have a guest, I change the picture out. But I just put it in front of this one because I printed this one off back when we first scheduled our interview.
Oh my gosh.
So for those that don't know, the Coco interview, this has been a long time coming. You were one of the first guests I asked when I moved to Vegas.
You did.
And you said, yeah, I'd love to. And it is now about 2 years later. We have rescheduled this so many times.
Well, he doesn't realize 2
Why?
years ago, I was this old. I was old too. So, of course, when I said, yes, I love to, it always slipped my mind.
Yeah, so just to resolve this tension between us right now, why have you
Yeah.
been dogging me for 2 years?
I haven't really been dogging you for 2 years.
Were you scared?
I think you're peculiar. No, I think I think you have a very endearing look. I didn't know how we would look on camera together. At some point, I have to stop worrying about how bad other people will look and just do what needs to be done. So I decided I'd come on regardless. And I knew you'd show up in some getup.
You were worried that how you would look because I don't have filters on these cameras. That's
Oh,
what
you don't
it
have
was.
filters? Oh, no, this is over.
I rubbed a little Vaseline on
The
yours.
interview
though.
is
Don't
over.
worry about it. It's
No
okay.
filters for real? What? Wait a minute.
Well, it softens a little bit because the lighting, because they're not super high quality cameras, so it's not HD or anything. But
I just had some work done, so I'm good. Doesn't matter. Did you see I had my nose small, my nostrils taken in?
your nostrils take it in.
Yeah. They're a little swollen right now still, but ow, that hurt. But
I know something seemed like slightly different, but again, I haven't seen you in like 2 years, so I wasn't sure. It's been so long.
yes.
Yeah.
I have, they actually, let me tell you how they did it. They did a 2.5-inch needle and they stuck it through here and they brought it all the way through and then they crank, and it shoots a thread through here and then they pull back and the thread pulls it in and then they tie it off. It's insane.
By the time this interview comes out, you're gonna look like Fantasia in real life.
I want to get my feet done. Like I want them to rip out.
like Monet just did.
Oh, she got that done?
Monet, yeah, she had a feet feminization surgery. She had her little tootsies done.
Oh, I don't know if I want them to be feminized, but I want them to do the thing where they actually pluck out all your nail beds
Oh, what
and let them grow back in, so you just have real cute, beautiful feet.
that's a thing?
Yeah,
Ew.
they pluck out your nail beds and
Ew.
then just let them grow back because they're always gonna grow back, and then they just grow back. And
Oh my god. Yeah.
I mean, you're not gonna feel it because they've already numbed your feet.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I
the initial
guess.
pain of it happening, by the time that stuff wears off, your feet will be sore. You probably won't be able to walk.
Yeah. Just the idea that is so. Anyway, but I feel, would they even grow back properly? Because you're wearing heels all the time and stuff.
Yeah, I probably would have to be out of heels for a while.
Oh my gosh, who was it that was doing shows in comfy shoes recently? There was a queen that was only wearing flats.
That's most of the girls.
Yeah. Suck up some of this mustache.
You get hair in your mouth again. It's not the first time for you. Giving it to them straight.
But speaking about your illusions that you do, have you ever thought about doing other characters or something more age appropriate, like Gladys Knight, Diana Ross?
I like doing the older characters. I do like doing the older characters.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun. The more age appropriate characters.
Do you ever get upset by the age jokes?
And you know what? I really don't because
Was there a time where you did? Like whenever you were
when I like
30s, 40s, when it first started hearing them?
I was kind of like, why oh, that's horrible. Don't say that. I don't want to be old. Yeah, you do want to be old. That's the whole goal. If you didn't want to be old, you wouldn't wake up every day and do what you do. You just go end it.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? But like, oh, you're old. Yeah, and eventually, if you're lucky, you will be too. It's like, yeah, I'm old. I love it though. I love my age. I love aging. I love aging because I feel like
You say you love aging, but then you're like, but I love work.
that's why I love aging. Because if I didn't age, I wouldn't be able to get work. I wouldn't be able to get work done if I didn't age. What would they be able to do?
That's so counterintuitive. But yeah, I guess so.
Well, how's that counterintuitive? I mean, if what are you going to do? Oh, I'm not getting old, so I guess I don't need any work.
Well, nowadays, people are getting like full faces of work done in their 20s.
I've seen people get work done and still be ugly. And you're like, oh, well, that was a waste. Like, oh my God, why'd you let them take your money? That type of thing. But like for me,
are you referring to anyone in particular?
Can we say names?
If you want, whatever you're comfortable with throwing out there.
Yeah, I mean, who's got work done that we?
I didn't say that about anyone.
I'm not gonna say any names, but there's just one girl. No, I'm not gonna do it. No, and people have to understand too, when you're getting this work done, those fantasies that you're living doesn't necessarily mean once you get the work done, oh, now you're this babe. It doesn't work that way. You have to accommodate what they were able to do. They're not magicians, They're surgeons. They're not magicians. They can't make you into Pamela Anderson. They can't make you into a Roxy Andrews. You'll never be a Roxy Andrews, baby. You don't need to try to wear Roxy Andrews outfits because you're not Roxy Andrews. You'll never be Roxy Andrews. I don't care how many gastric bypasses you have or tummy tucks and belly lifts.
This is starting to seem less vague and
pointed?
blanket. This is starting to seem less blanket statement, a little more specific.
Is it pointed?
It might be a little bit.
Is my tone pointed?
It sounds a little bit.
I hang out with Willem a lot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But with your drag journey, like where it started off, a lot of people, they started their drag journeys kind of in their parents' living room performing and stuff. But you actually started your drag journey making your little siblings perform and dressing them up. Was that you like trying to set the tone for what you would later become, or were you just wanting to judge people? Like why? What was that about?
I was actually doing a prequel to the end of my career. What I would be doing at the end, and what I would think I would be doing at the end, would be behind the scenes. Making things work and building the set, building what I used to do. I used to build the stage in front of our big glass window in the living room. And the curtains would be there, and I would use the curtains to pull back the curtains, and you'd be out on the patio, and the whole patio would have this 3-tier stage, and I would pay my sister $1 and dress her up in like the. You remember
They were paid gigs?
Oh yeah, I was paying her back then.
Oh my gosh!
I believe in paying people. I don't believe in stiffing people, and we'll talk about that because some people have been stiffing people, but we won't talk about that.
Oh gosh, okay.
So the tissue paper mache and the stuff you buy in the store. I would buy that in all the different colors, and then I would make the outfits on her. So she'd have to stand there all the time. So I'd give her candy and pay her $1 to stand there and do the thing. And then I would put on the music. I loved award shows back then. So I would take the different numbers from the award shows and make her perform the numbers. I'd get mad when she didn't learn the words and stuff like that. But
oh my gosh, how old were you at this time?
Oh, I was young. I probably was like 10.
Oh my gosh, a 10-year-old and you're like just
she's
hardcore
like 7.
Perfectionist director.
Yeah, she's like 7 years old, has no idea why her brother is dressing her up instead of playing football outside, why he's in here dressing her up and putting her on stage. But she didn't care. She was getting $1 and candy. She didn't care.
So like your little sister was pretty much your first drag daughter is what we're saying. Yeah. Did she have a name or is it just your
Marcy?
Just Marcy.
Just Marcy.
Marcy.
Just Marcy. She wouldn't let me give her a name. She's like, no.
But your actual drag daughter, who performs with you in Vegas sometimes.
Yeah.
Kahana MONTRESE. What did that adoption process look like?
Oh my gosh.
How many drag kids do you have?
It was cute. I have more boys than girls.
Okay,
I have more
like
boys
male
than girls.
entertainers?
And they don't, some of them, well, most of them are not in drag at all now. You know, and I was a drag mother, but they're not in entertainment. They're like engineers and,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, one of my sons, he's now a lawyer and stuff like that. But my girls are drag queens. Kahana is, that adoption process was pretty interesting. You know, her father is, I don't know if you know him, James Vaughn. And he's with Jonathan now. Jonathan and him got married. They live in Palm Springs. Jonathan from Mean Girls.
Oh, small world.
They're together now, but that's Kahana's father. That's why Kahana's light skinned and I'm, you know, dark.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that was my follow-up question.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And that was a cute. The quick story about Kahana, we met Kahana. Derek and I were doing a gig in Denver. Again, this wasn't the time that I almost passed out and died. But we were doing a gig in Denver, and Kahana was performing in the show. And it was like one of her little shows. So we were backstage with all these performers, and she was in the corner by herself. Nobody was talking to her or anything. And Derek and I were like, so this little girl in the corner, nobody's like paying attention to her. She not have any friends here or whatever. And so we just packed our stuff up and went over and started, and you know, put our station next to hers and started talking to her and everything like that. And she was like, she said, hey, will you watch me perform, you know, and tell me about it after I come off, whatever. And we watched her perform and everything, and I thought she was amazing. And we just continued to talk from there on. And she's like, I don't have a drag mom. Doing this and you know, nobody, you know, I'm just alone in drag and stuff like that. And one thing led to another, and that's how she became my drag daughter. Yep, that was my baby.
And she got on Drag Race.
Got on Drag Race, then she became a sex kitten, and
yeah.
I had to constantly remind her that prostitution is illegal in Las Vegas. Yeah, it was crazy.
Would you say you're more of a hands-on drag mother, or you just kind of offer advice from a distance?
Okay, so here's the thing. With my drag mom, when I was coming up and doing drag, I would always go to her for advice. And I would be like, hey, you know, what kind of dress do you think I should wear for the pageant, this and that and the other? And she would always come back and say, what kind of dress do you want to wear for the pageant? And I never could understand why she would never say, you know, just tell me what you think I need to do or what I need to wear. And she came to me one day and she said, you don't realize why I don't ever, I'll coach you, but I won't tell you what you should do. And I said, no. She said, because I don't want another carbon copy of me. She said, I can tell you all day long what you should be doing, or I can coach you into you figuring out what you want to do. So you create your own character. So Coco won't be Mocha. Mocha will be Mocha, and Coco will be Coco. So I was pretty hands off, but it was for a good reason, because now when you see Kahana, although she's Kahana MONTRESE, you see Kahana.
Yeah.
You don't see Coco and Kahana.
Yeah, like she's got your name, but whenever she's fighting with people on All Stars, you're like, I got nothing to do with that.
No.
That's all her.
No, she knows I'll always be, you know, I'll always be there. But, you know, are you talking about that whole her,
Yeah.
her and
Heidi.
Heidi. Her and Heidi.
But you mentioned your drag mom, Mocha MONTRESE, legendary Mocha MONTRESE.
Yes.
Who put you in drag. You were in college at the time. Go Hornets.
She was strict.
Uh-huh.
How do you know my name? ASU, right?
But she must have saw something in you, because you said that she came up to you. She saw you in the crowd. You weren't doing drag or anything, but she just walked up to you in the crowd. She just walked up to this little kid in the crowd and said you were the most beautiful person, that she just wanted to put you in makeup. So what was it?
Oh my God, how do you find? Oh, I can't stand you. That was my Michael Jackson look too.
Walk us through that moment though. Like, what was it about that? What did she see in you? Why did she want to put you in drag so bad? Like, was it just fate?
Well, it was scary for me because this was my first time. You got to realize, up close dealing with drag queens. This is my first time, like, doing that. So it's kind of just like, and she was like, "You're a beautiful boy. You're a cute boy. You be cute in drag. You be cute in drag." And I'm like, "Nah, not my thing. You know, I'm not doing that."
Oh, you're trying to.
Yeah, I was like, nah, I'm trying to butcher it
You were a
up.
dude.
I was in
Yeah.
college, you know. In college, probably get my back blown out the whole time. But I'm in college and I'm like, oh, nah, I don't need to do that. When she put me in makeup, I wish I could find that picture the first time she put me in makeup. Stunning. I loved it. Could never recreate it because, you know, makeup is not my thing. But
It's crazy. Like 40 years of drag, and you still haven't figured out how to work the brush. That's crazy.
I'm still booked.
And still booked.
Solid. Because it's not just about the look.
Yeah.
The look's the first 3 seconds of the performance.
Yeah. And you charge less than the other girls, so it's like booked and busy.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I've seen what the other girls are charging.
Yeah, so she saw you in the crowd. She said, you have such a beautiful face. You look so good in makeup. She put you in makeup. When was the first time you set foot on the stage, though?
That same night that she put me in makeup. The same night she put me in makeup.
Did she put you in makeup the same night she said you would look good in makeup?
No.
Okay. What's the time?
Because that night I was still in the no. It's not happening.
Okay. You took a little persuading.
Yeah, my friends were like, "Girl, you should do it. Whatever." And I was broke. I was broke in college, no money. You know, and they were having these little contests, these amateur contests, and they were giving away pretty money back for the 90s. So I was like, okay, well, I'll let her put me in drag. I'm like, y'all better scream and holler and cheer and everything. But the whole crowd, like, really bought into me. They bought into it. And that's how Coco was born. But Mocha was strict. She was a strict mom. She was very strict.
Oh, she beat you?
Well, she didn't beat me, but she was very like, if your grades, I need to see your grades every semester. And if your grades are below than a B, drag is done.
Is that why some of your drag kids now are lawyers and engineers?
Yeah, probably. And then the fact that I know how to pick them, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not snatching out
Oh,
dumbos.
no. There's a lot of inquiries, but...
That's smart because, like, you want your kids to take care of you when you're older, so you grab the ones that you know are going to have 6-figure jobs.
Exactly.
See, that's smart.
The ones that are not going to put me in an old folks' home, they're going to put me in a casita, in the house that they own.
Your chosen family are the ones
Yeah, my
making the most
chosen family
money.
are chosen from Wall Street. I am not playing.
Like, whenever people want to join the house of MONTRESE, they have to submit a credit report.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to
Proof of
know if your
income.
credit is any good or if it's even repairable.
Yeah.
Because some of it, if it's not repairable, there's some other families you can join.
Yeah. You're not asking, like, oh, what do you want your drag name to be? You're like, what's your 5-year plan?
Yeah, what's your 5-year plan? You know, what are your investments? You know, what are you trying to do? Dow Jones, do you know what that is? You know, those type of things. I need to know, you know, that you're wise and you understand that past drag, there's something else.
Yeah.
There's, like Prince would say, the afterlife.
If you had to pick a symbol, like, to change your name to a symbol, what would it be?
Ooh.
Let's make it modern. Let's choose, like, an emoji or something.
The shit emoji just come to mind. No.
What do you think?
Remember the and the big poop thing. The shit. The shit.
Let's
I
hear
think
it.
the shit. THEE shit. The little beep beep beep.
It's like Megan Thee Stallion, but it's Coco the shit.
Coco the shit. Oh, I like that.
That's a merch idea. There you go.
Coco the shit.
But you were saying that night is the night that Coco was born, but it almost wasn't Coco because you were almost named Paris, right?
How do you know this shit?
How many different name iterations did you go through before you settled on Coco? Which Coco makes sense because of Mocha, Coco.
Mocha, Coco, yeah. And I had a sister, Espresso. Oh my God, but Paris, how did you know about Paris?
Was that like your hookup name back in the day?
I didn't really have a hookup name, but Paris was just, I think it was one of the places I always wanted to go. So I always used, that was my name. That was my name. I was like, oh, I'm going to be a Paris. I'm going to be Paris.
You started with that one, you said no, and then you went with Coco, and that was it?
Coco.
Damn.
After that was Coco.
But growing up as a gay man in like the 1980s and the 90s, you grew, especially growing up in a really strongly Pentecostal family that you grew up in, I think most people would assume that your family was really strict on you and not accepting of you, but you actually had the opposite experience of where your family was receiving flack from the church community because of how accepting and supportive they were of you.
Yes.
So
in Sunday school, I would get kicked out of Sunday school because I would be like, okay, it's Easter. What's the point of the dressing up? Why did we spend the money if he doesn't care, and you're saying he doesn't care about all of this, and that we could just come as we are. Why didn't we just come as we are? But all of y'all are dressed up like goons and goblins with all this stuff.
You are a fiscally responsible 7-year-old. Just
Yeah.
like, why waste all this money?
Why do y'all okay, y'all say God is going to provide, but y'all keep passing the collection plate around. For what reason? What's the money going to? If you're saying they praying God is going to do all of this stuff without that, then what do we need the money for? That kind of kid. And they're like, oh, God, we got a live one. You know, that's the kind of kid I was. I was not I was a no-nonsense kid. So it was almost like you wanted to be in my life. You wanted to be the world, you know, this is Marty's world, and all the rest of you are just living in it. So that's the way I was in church. So for me, religion, it was different. I mean, then as I got older, of course, as I got older, you would see pushback. You know, you would see pushback. I started wearing my hair in braids and, you know, wearing my nails long and stuff like that. I was still finding myself and stuff like that. But I never was afraid to do that stuff there. So it was like, y'all either get with the program or I'm going to take the program somewhere else.
Yeah. You're saying you're being yourself and like telling other people either get with it or don't. I think most people's parents would probably try to shut that down, but as we said, like your parents were a lot more supportive.
Yeah.
Despite
I don't think I don't even think it was that they were supportive. I think my parents were probably like, dude, if we don't get on board, this kid's gonna hit it. He is so daring. He's gonna be gone, and we're never gonna see him again. So I think they were like, I'm not saying they weren't gonna be on board, but I'm sure they probably were like, we gotta do it. We gotta just go with it. But I think it was a lot of pressure and pushback from my dad, from the higher ups. Because my dad was a pastor, and then you had the bishop, the superintendent, the bishop, and them, and it was like, it's so weird because the church, and don't get me wrong, I'm very spiritual now. I don't believe in organized religion anymore, but I'm very spiritual because I still, you know, I still believe in the higher power thing. I'm not like oblivious to that. But I just felt like they were going up the opposite of what they were preaching. You guys want my family to disown me. You want my family to get rid of me, but you're preaching come to the church, and the church is a place of refuge, and just come as you are. This is how I am. So what the do y'all want? It's like, which one is it? Do you want me to come? Do you not want me to come? Do you want me to come only if I come the way you think I should be? Which one is it? Because it ain't going to work for me. So I'm going to be out, you know? Yeah. It was so funny. I did jump the gun, though, with my family, though, when I thought I was telling them I was gay. And
like, how so?
Because I was like, you know, basically I'm telling them, you know, I'm different, I'm gay, this and the other. And there was a pause. And the pause was too long for me. They needed to speak faster than they did, and they didn't. So I was gone for about probably like 3 weeks. They could not find me for like 3 weeks. Oh, I was not having it. I was not having it.
So they were right whenever they were like, if we don't
he's
accept
gonna
him
hit
as
it.
he is, he's gonna hit it.
And they had to track me down, and they were like, you left. We were trying to tell you we were okay with it. I'm like, y'all took too long. I was gone. Because I was such a strong, my headspace is so different that it's like, I don't, maybe it's I don't deal with rejection well, but at that point, I was not going to be rejected. I was going to reject you before you reject me as a kid. You know, that was my mindset as a young teenager. So it was kind of like, oh, y'all don't have an answer? I got one. Peace. You know, they came home. My bag, I had my suitcase, and I was gone. I went to stay with my friend's house on Miami Beach. I had a friend, and he had a nice place on Miami Beach, and I was there in the high rise looking at the ocean every day. I was like, is this what the gay life is supposed to be like? House full of gays, too. Like we were all, it was like filming Annie with a Hard Knock Life. We were all in the orphanage, but we ran the orphanage. It was sickening. It was amazing. On Miami Beach. It was amazing. Don't know if that place was got with stolen credit cards or what, but we were there. It was sickening. I loved it.
I just say you're very like strong-willed, living life how you wanted to do, and your parents were very supportive. Was there ever a time where they tried to dissuade you from being a certain way?
Oh, absolutely.
Did they?
Absolutely. I had a girlfriend because I wanted to please my parents. I had a girlfriend. She was sweet, pretty girl. She looked a lot like my mom. She was just a sweet girl and everything. That's when I discovered tickle bitties, tatas.
Yeah.
I love tatas. Tatas were hot. I love the tata part. I just didn't want to do any the other stuff. The other stuff, I was like, let's go get our nails done or something. I didn't want to do that. And then I told her, I'm like, I think I'm gay and stuff. And she's like, oh no, I'll love you through it. Everything. I'm like, no, you're not. You don't have a penis. It's not going to happen.
Oh my gosh.
So, but we ended up now there was a big fight between us though.
Oh.
So we were filming, because the church, I was in the church choir, I was a singer, whatever. We were filming, we were doing an album. And I'll never forget this. There was this boy in the church and he asked me out. We would hang out. He was really fun and really cute and everything. And he was also a singer. And he's gonna kill me when he sees this because he was also a singer. So he was singing on the album too. So we just spent a lot of time together. And I guess my girlfriend at the time was like noticing that we were, laughing and having a good time all the time and hanging out. Me and Sean, we were gonna hang out, whatever. She hated it. So she came to me, we were getting ready to film. And I was like, well, I'm leaving. I'm gonna go with Sean because we were on a lunch break.
Is this in Miami?
Yeah, this is in Miami. I'm going on a lunch break. We were going on a lunch break for the filming. The whole choir was going on a lunch break. And then we were going to come back in an hour and a half, everything. And then Sean had a car. So I was like, I'm gonna go with Sean. We're gonna go, whatever. Yeah, not going with Sean. She took her purse and hit me with it.
Oh.
Me? She hit me?
You hit her back.
And violence is not the answer. But I had forgot that she was a girl. Because I was so pissed. I was like, I cannot believe this bitch is throwing this purse at me.
That's why you went to jail. We got the mugshot.
Do you really? No, and then we had, so the church, we had to pray. Everybody had to pray. And I said, I don't care what happened at the end of this prayer, I'm still leaving with Sean. And I ended up leaving with Sean. Sean and I ended up dating. We dated for a couple of years and everything, but it was a beautiful relationship, me and Sean.
Oh my gosh.
And later on, me and my ex-girlfriend after that point, we became.
Well, I assume.
Yeah, right. We became really good friends. We're still good friends to this day, you know. And she thanked me later on, though. She said, "Thank you." She said, "Thank you for being honest with yourself because I would have married you anyway, and because I felt I loved you, and I would have married you anyway, and my life probably would have been a lot different because you would have ran off with some guy or whatever. So thank you for being honest with me, and when you figured it out, you told me right away. I don't think I like girls. I like guys."
Let's see, if she had you stuck it out though, you'd probably still be together, and she would have been with you through all this drag journey. She'd have this beautiful Vegas house right now.
Everybody can't be Maddy.
I'll say you got a beautiful house. It's just like her husband would just kind of take a vacation to PV every couple weeks, but other than that, it would have been a wonderful life for her.
She never would have been a Marine, and I never would have been able to marry a Marine, and I'm so happy I married a Marine.
The pension.
The benefits.
Yeah.
Well, at least while they last. Who knows what's going to happen these days?
Well.
But yeah, I love that.
You mentioned it earlier that whenever you were filming Drag Race, he was actually started to battle cancer. And it was actually cancer that took both of your parents whenever you were very young.
Yeah.
What was the effect that that had on your psyche whenever you were trying to film the show?
Oh, gosh. A lot of times when people thought I was in my head with Alyssa, the Alyssa situation, it was that I was feeling guilty. I felt guilty because I was there, and a lot of people don't know that when he found out he had cancer, he gave me the option to get out of the marriage. He gave me the option to leave the marriage, and going through what I went through with my parents, I absolutely was not going to leave the marriage. That's ludicrous to me. I would never leave him in those moments. I would never walk away from somebody. But it was a challenging road for us because not only did he battle cancer and beat it that time, it came back, and it came back stronger. And he had to beat it again, so he had to fight cancer twice. So we're talking, we've been together 16 years now, so it would have been almost 10 of the 16 years was spent battling cancer.
With so many people close to you going through like these experiences, did it have any effect on like your relationships with this, this idea of like the fleeting existence and how short term things could be? Did it affect like?
Yeah, it made me a lot more sensitive to not only my, not just romantic relationships, but my friendships. My friendships are like very serious things to me, like serious things to me. I felt like anybody I said I love you to, I would lose. Think about it. Case in point, my parents, I loved them to death. I lost them. I lost my grandparents, both sets of my grandparents. My dad and my dad's mom and dad, 12 days apart. They died 12 days apart. My mom's mom and dad, they died like 2 months apart. So everything was always so close like that. So I was experiencing it in real time. So I kind of spent most of my childhood, halfway through my childhood, growing up with no grandparents. Then as I turned into an adult, no parents. So that's why my relationships are either clingy or there is enough space in between that if, and it sounds horrible, if something were to happen to you tomorrow, I would, we'd have a moment of without you, but I wouldn't miss a beat in life.
You're almost like cushioning yourself,
Yeah.
or like softening the inevitable blow for yourself.
And I don't encourage that for people to do.
Yeah.
People be like, oh my God, I love Coco, I want to live like that. No, don't do it, please. It's not, and I'm not saying it's not healthy, but it's worked for me. It's not going to work for everybody though.
Yeah.
Even with like my personal relationship, like even with the relationship with Alyssa, there's 58 girls in the pageant, but that's the only girl that that's the only girl we have that rapport. And don't get me wrong, I'm cordial and kind, and me and all the other girls, we get along fine.
Yeah.
We just don't have that.
Yeah.
We don't have that relationship. And the relationship we have, a lot of people wouldn't understand. It's just like, what? That's crazy.
Talking about me and you?
Totally. And the date. Let's talk about the date.
Oh, the date we went on?
Yes.
It's your husband. Your husband, I didn't hear anything from him. Was he okay with that?
Oh, the date? Oh, he's totally fine. We're open. He's totally fine. He's like,
Okay. I'm not trying to be a homewrecker or anything.
no, he's totally fine with it. He's lots of fun.
But yeah,
Huge.
For those that didn't know, they could see the little clip on your Instagram. You posted a reel. We went on a little dinner date.
Yes.
It's all ratatouille.
It was great. It was great. You were so sweet. I don't know why you took me to a movie about rats, but food and
Well,
rats.
it was about rats in Paris, and I know how much you love Paris.
Paris,
so
yes.
I thought let's go.
That was very thoughtful of you. It was sweet. I enjoyed it.
See,
Working film was great.
Yeah. But going through the journey that you went through, discovering yourself and your sexuality, was there any other like side journeys you went on, like trying to find yourself of either gender identities or sexual identities, like things you explored or different paths that you'd wandered down?
You know what? It's so funny, and I'm sitting here dressed as Prince. What's so intriguing about Prince was that he had such a presence that men and women adored him. Men and women wanted to be with him. Men and women wanted that. So as far as sexuality, I kind of saw myself more like him in that way, where it didn't matter. Like there were certain things about women I'm attracted to. I love the femininity of women. I study it. Like if you see it when I get in drag, that's I present when I'm presenting as a woman, I am a woman. I am a complete woman.
So whenever you do drag, do you feel that drag is almost like an outlet for your femininity?
Oh, absolutely. Totally. Totally an outlet for my femininity. I feel like even as a man, like you want to be able to express that. Even like for you as a straight man, of course. I mean, to me, what's more attractive, and that's what I was getting to with the Prince thing, it's more attractive for me to see a man who's so comfortable with his feminine side that makes him more masculine to me. You kind of understand what I'm saying? It's more attractive to me because then I know that you know the softer side. You're not just coming off as this macho guy. You can exhort that energy if you need to,
What was the Prince song? Soft and Wet?
Soft and Wet.
Yeah, Soft and Wet. You like your men soft and wet.
I like my men soft and wet. Oh my God.
So, like, but does that affect like your gender like identity at all, or do you just identify as a man with a feminine side, or is it a little bit deeper than that?
As now, because I've been studying, because I'm old school, so I have to, as far as like the pronouns and non-binary and all that. I'm not ashamed to say it. I had to really research to understand and get a full understanding of it, and I still am still trying, going back and researching and understanding it. And from what I get so far, I'm probably non-binary, because I don't feel like I need to fit into a masculine or feminine.
You don't really feel like a man or a woman, really.
No, I feel like an extraterrestrial. I feel like E.T. I feel like E.T. Some people say I look like E.T. Shady boots. And that's okay. E.T., listen, E.T. has celebrated over 50 years in that movie, and he has made a lot of money off of it, so I don't mind being called E.T. But I do feel like myself as more of an extraterrestrial. I don't see myself as just one sex or, because I can be real feminine. You see me perform, I can be really, really feminine. But out of drag, I don't think that I'm as feminine. Some people say, oh, you're
But you're also not like super like masculine,
No.
traditional masculinity or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I'm not like, I do good workout in the gym. I do that kind of stuff, but I don't go there and like, I don't transform into this.
Is it just cardio?
No, I do. Oh, why does it look like it's just cardio?
Anyway.
I'm trying to get rid of my man boobs. You bitch.
With your long drag career that you've had,
Long.
what's been the best? What's been the best experience of your drag career thus far?
I kind of experienced the same thing I experienced at Disney, because it's a full circle for me with Disney. At Disney, I would be friends with those characters, and kids would come to see us to see those characters, and some of the kids would come for it'd be their last dying wish to see that. Now, I go back to visit Disney as myself, and I'm approached as I was approached when I was working in the park.
It's like that same reaction you're getting as a character, like now, because of your time like on Drag Race and in pageantry, people knowing you, like you have that same effect on people as you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have so much humility for that. I think it's, and I'm honored that people feel that way. Some people are like, just leave me alone. I'm human too, like everybody else. But put yourself in their shoes, You were the moment. What I grabbed from Janet Jackson was, it was a moment in my life. It was a developing moment in my life, and Janet Jackson was the one that helped me with that. This may have been a developing moment in their life, and they got to watch you on TV, even be a mess. You were a mess on TV, but it got them through whatever they were going through at the time. Oh, my dad was going through cancer, and I would sit in the TV and watch it with him and make him watch it, and he'd laugh. And it was the only time he ever laughed. When you hear those stories, you don't want to break down in front of them, but when they walk away, you're like, damn.
It's crazy the impact you can have on people's lives. They come up to you saying, you changed my life. I really wanted to see Janet Jackson, but couldn't afford the ticket. But yours is, if you
I got the Timu Janet Jackson.
Yeah, if you squint, it's good enough. And it's awesome that you could do that for people.
I paid for the Amazon Janet Jackson. I got the Timu version. Oh, you're shady.
I was at this point in your drag career, you're at the point now where you can look back and you see the impact that you're having and the legacy you're leading. Do you see your impact in like the newer generation of drag queens when you see they also don't look like their pictures?
Here's the thing, and I'm always been a queen that's been ahead and futuristic and ahead of things.
Okay.
My theory on my filtered pictures, because I could care less who complains. It's not going to happen. It's not going to stop. So get over it. Get over yourselves. Some of y'all need to use the filters anyway that I'm using. But my theory is, if we're looking into the future and we're leaving stuff for people to look at that's from the past, nobody's going to look back and go, oh, that was a filtered picture of Coco. They're going to go, wow, whatever she was doing back then, she looked beautiful.
You think people in the future are going to look back at your Instagram pictures and be like, wow, she looked
good
so
back then.
natural and so stunning.
Yeah, because you know what they're going to look like now? I mean, we're all going to look like robots.
I hope I live long enough
to look back at my pictures,
to see to watch the archaeologists go through
the fossils of my pictures.
Yeah, of the fossil records. Yeah, they're like dusting off.
I think people are going to look back.
Brush.
It's going to look back just like we look back at Marilyn Monroe right now. We go, oh my gosh, she was so statuesque. Marilyn Monroe was filtering her pictures before filters were even invented. She was doing what I'm doing right now. But you guys didn't complain about that. You looked at the pictures and you said she was gorgeous. So, and that's what you're going to do to me.
So you're
going to look back and say.
You're saying you're the Marilyn Monroe of this generation. I am
the Marilyn Monroe of this generation. I am.
People say that about you.
I am. I'm the Marilyn Monroe of this generation. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not as full-figured.
And I'm tired of people acting like you're not.
I know. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Cancel Christmas. I'm done.
Cancel Christmas? What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, well, on that note, that is the last of my cards and the last bit of time we have. Was there something more you wanted to say?
We done?
That's the last of it. Yeah, we've been here for a little while.
Oh, I had more to talk about. I don't even know.
Is there something you wanted to address specifically? Anything you wanted to bring up? Anything on your chest?
I'm going to get anything off my chest.
Just those man boobs.
No, yes, I want to get those off. Listen, never judge a book by its cover.
Okay.
Unless it's paperback. I don't know why.
There, put that on a bumper sticker.
Yeah. I mean, that was about it. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
That was it.
All right. Well, before you go, I wanted to thank you for coming in today and give you a gift. Just like to take a trip down memory lane. I know you probably don't have a CD player in your Tesla, but I wanted to get you a CD anyway if you got one in your house somewhere of a throwback to a different time from the Miami Mass Choir. Because it's praying time. Is this the choir you were singing in?
Yes.
So I believe your brother was the conductor of that choir.
Yes.
And this actual recording, your parents were in the audience for. This specific album.
Yes. Oh my God.
Are you on this record singing?
This is crazy. Yes, I am. I am on this one singing.
If we listen close, do we hear you doing runs in the background?
Oh my God. This is crazy. Mm-hmm. Where in the world did you find this thing?
But with this, so are you in the picture anywhere? Can people see you in there? No. You might be.
Okay, there's my brother and my sister-in-law, but let's see. I might not have shown up to I don't think we showed up to this shoot that day for the photos. Sean and I we were still dating at the time. I think we were probably somewhere doing stuff we weren't supposed to be doing on the beach or something. Because we'd always go out to the beach because we never get caught there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah, so back whenever you were singing in the choir, and you actually still sing now. A lot of people don't know that. Like on top of the drag shows that you do, you also still do like some live singing shows.
I do.
Have you ever thought about putting out more music or like doing more live performances, like traveling around singing and stuff?
I'm actually working on a live one-woman show singing. So
a one-woman show or a one Coco show?
A one-woman Coco.
Is it going to be in drag?
In drag.
Okay.
In drag Coco. Yeah. So I'm working on that, and I'm excited about that because it'll be a challenge for me.
Is it going to be like a Vegas thing or a traveling thing?
Oh, it's a traveling thing. It'll be a traveling thing, and it'll be stationary in one place, but I will decide when I'm going to announce that place, and it won't be in the country, though. It'll be out of the country. So.
Out of the country, okay.
Yes.
Well, might as well be in PV because you're over there every other weekend anyway.
Might as well be in PV.
You travel. I don't know how. I mean, obviously, I know you're making money at like Drag Race Live and the live shows you're doing, traveling around. But
lots of investments.
I see you going to PV every other week, and I'm like, how do you afford these trips all the time?
Lots of investments. You know what? When I started doing drag, that was another thing my drag mother was very
your
smart.
husband's pension must be nice.
It's cute. It's cute. It's cute, but I never rely on a man.
You just heavily lean on them.
I was smart. With Drag Race, my first season, I was smart. Mm-hmm. I was really, really smart. I did not buy Louboutins and stuff like that. I allowed my fans to buy me Louboutins and stuff, and I put my money in investments, and they paid off.
Can I ask what you invested in? Some of the things you're comfortable sharing?
Well, Bitcoin wasn't around yet then, so I've been doing Bitcoin now too. So, but back then it was a business. It wasn't drug dealing or anything like that.
No. That's the old Coco. Yeah. That's how you got started, with getting the wigs, the pageants.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
Miss Gay America Coco, not
Yes.
Drag Race Coco.
That was Miss Gay America Coco.
Yep. I never got really big into like the stocks and investing. Yeah, I'm just now, I'm turning 30. I'm about to start getting into investing, and I'm trying to be an adult. But I actually did invest in Dogecoin. Do you know what that was?
Yes.
Back before Drag Race, I was working at Target. I got like $100 bonus, and people were talking about Dogecoin. I was like, you know what? I'll invest.
How did that work out for you?
I got 600 back on it. So
Okay.
it was starting to go down. I sold it out. I got $600 profit, and that paid for like half my Drag Race package.
Oh, see.
So a little Dogecoin. It was like half my package.
Wait,
was that.
your Drag Race package was $1,200?
It was probably like $3,000 or so. I didn't have
Okay.
very much money. Yeah, most of my money came from the Dogecoin, and I got in a car accident and an insurance payout. And instead of buying another $3,000 car or $1,500 car, or whatever it was, I bought a few dresses.
But why not?
Yeah,
That's very straight man material.
I was like,
buy
this,
a few dresses.
I was like, I'm the modern man. I'm different. Yeah,
You really are, but
I'm not like most men. I'm soft and wet.
You're the soft and wet.
I'm soft and wet. I wear panties under my baseball uniform, as you so elegantly put it one day.
That is so hot.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that. Our beef on Twitter.
Oh my God, they really thought that they were like, and you and I were totally on the same page, like, oh yeah, we're doing this.
I don't know what it was like on your end. I'm sure because with my show, I started to develop a fan base. I'm sure you got a little bit of heat on your end, but I was getting heat on my end too, of people being like, Coco is a legend. Don't you come for her? Who the fuck do you
Really?
think you are?
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
doing that?
People dragging, saying that I'm attacking this queen of
You're
color.
attacking that old lady.
This old lady, yeah, this legend, this icon. But people thought we were like
we were for real, like going at
serious.
it. No, I thought it was really good. I thought it was really good banter, and I thought it was fun. And then people always come and try to take the fun out of it for us. And I was like, they were like, oh, you and Maddy were fighting. I'm like, no, me and Maddy were having a conversation online like we normally do.
Yeah. Did you get any like hate or anything? From,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was, but it was weird. It was just like, from my season when I got the hate, I used to always respond to the hate, and I used to always. But for me now, it's kind of more of a sit back and let them enjoy themselves.
Let the kids be kids.
Yeah, and you read it and you laugh and you keep moving. You don't even give them and it sucks because then now they're like, I only said it because I wanted you to respond.
Yeah, that's always the best too. Whenever someone's like talking shit and then you acknowledge it, and they're just like, "Oh,
my God,
I love
I'm such
you.
a fan.
Yeah, I love you so much."
I'm like, Bip, you're bipolar ass.
Have you moved to Blue Sky yet?
I have.
You're
I'm
on Blue Sky now. Are you with it? Okay. I was about to ask if you need someone to set that up for you.
I jumped
you're
on it.
Top of it. Yeah.
I jumped on it. I'm on Blue Sky, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I think it's cute. I think it's open. I think it's time for a new platform anyway.
Yeah. It sucks starting over though.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does, but I think it's going to catch on really fast, and people will find.
Hopefully, Twitter's a cesspool, so
Oh,
hopefully
God.
Blue Sky will.
It is a cesspool, but I love the porn on Twitter. I can't. Like I was like, I want to delete my Twitter. Then I thought about it. I said, well, bitch, you're gonna watch all your porn.
Blue Sky's family friendly, so.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I'm gonna watch my porn at.
That's why I think like for your like persona, Blue Sky, and then the alt account on Twitter. So just save it for there.
I should change. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Well,
Wow, you look beautiful with my glasses off.
Do I?
Yes, orange tint and stuff. It's cute.
It's like it's just flowing in the wind.
I don't know how you're doing that though.
Is this your fantasy? Is this why you're still on Twitter? Because you want to see more of this?
Your whiskers. I like the belly though.
Do you?
I do.
Like this?
I like the belly. Yeah.
Just
You
doing it
can't
for you?
even look down and see it, can you?
Good.
You better push it all the way in till it pops.
You speaking from experience?
It's like, oh, really? Wow.
So where can people find you? Do you have anything coming up right now? Because you were in Drag Race Live, but you're taking a break from there. Do you have any shows coming up in Vegas? Anywhere you're performing?
I am actually, the Janet Jackson residency is happening, and I'm doing some after parties for her at Resort World, so that's gonna be
Oh, when
fun.
is that?
It starts December 30th. Starts the 30th.
Oh my gosh. So
Yeah.
like kicking off like New Year's, New Year's
Yeah.
time,
I'm
and then
excited about that. So she's gonna be here. Right now she's scheduled through February, but I think the dates are they're gonna be a lot more dates. So I want to work some more on my own projects, my own things.
yeah,
You know?
your one Coco show coming up pretty soon. Hopefully,
Yes.
tentatively. Oh,
Yes.
you gotta stay tuned for that one.
Yes. Just be on the lookout for some stuff. I have a lot of stuff, surprises and things popping up that are gonna be really, really good. And the next step in my career, 30 something years, so I'm kind of like, why
Yeah.
not try it all? Do some other stuff.
Yeah. You think you got another 30 in you?
Probably another 5.
Another 5? Oh my gosh.
No, I
You
think
were-
I could. I think honestly, I probably will die on stage. I don't think I will not. I think I will probably just croak on stage. And if it happens, you guys just know I was.
Oh, you almost
happy.
did during All Stars. So,
I did.
You know,
I did.
foreshadowing.
But at least this time I'll be like happy, and it won't be sudden. It'll be like planned. Like remember when what's his name? Alexander McQueen wanted to plan his suicide. Did you know about that? He wanted to do it in a fashion show. During
Oh
the
my
fashion
gosh.
show. Yeah, it was crazy.
What do you think's gonna take you out?
Probably performing.
Like the lung thing again, or something else?
What?
Is it like the lung thing again, or
No,
something
no.
else?
I think this time it'll just be. I think it'll just be natural causes, but it'll be on stage. I think it'll be natural causes. I'm probably gonna live to be like 90.
You're the first person to die of old age on stage. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna die like on stage, like 90 years old, something like that. 90. Yeah, because I think I'm gonna be like I'm the Benjamin Button of drag. I've been called the Harriet Tubman of drag, the Martin Luther King of drag. But I think I'm aging backwards. So, yeah.
Aging backwards. You're like the Benjamin Button of drag.
Yeah. Do you see how young I look right now? Granted, I mean, I have like jumper cables running through my face, holding my face up. Thanks to Duvet Beauty, they take good care of me, make me look great. You know, if you need a discount, holler at me. But yeah, they make me look amazing. And I feel like I look younger every year. I'm juicing now too.
You're juicing.
Yeah.
Oh, like steroids.
No, not steroids, like natural juices. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
I don't do concentrate. I don't do anything that has a whole bunch of list of ingredients. It needs to be one ingredient.
Natural.
Yeah.
Like the outside may be plastic, but inside is all natural. Yeah.
Yes. That's that's the shell. It's just like the bottle. When you buy the bottle, it's plastic, but everything in it is really, really good. So if you get to get in me, you're really good.
There you go. So online, where are you most active right now? Because you say you're probably drifting away from Twitter. You're going to Blue
Instagram.
Sky. If you're not already, you can follow us on Blue Sky. A lot of
Yes.
queens are moving over there. Instagram. You post on there a
Instagram.
lot.
Instagram for sure. Instagram, I'm always on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram. And I do answer my messages, so yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to send her,
Yeah, if you want to send me something nasty or mean, go right ahead.
emphasis on the nasty. She likes the nasty ones more. Yeah.
I do. I like that.
Well, that's where you can find her. You can find me right here. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. And join us next time whenever we have...
The artist formerly known as Coco.
or somebody else. And yeah, until then. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Let's go.
I like my Prince look.